kind of.
We want to welcome our Kent State Golden Flashes. We'll go ahead and let Coach Todd Starkey open with an opening statement, then we'll take questions for our student athletes. Coach.
I think the most questions I've gotten after the game were, is Megan Carter okay? And looks like she's going to be okay. Took a little tumble there, may have hit her head, that type of thing. It looks more concussion-like than anything. Was real responsive with grabbing my hand and moving her feet and stuff like that. So medical staff, our trainer's great, and obviously anytime you have anything like that, you want to take every precaution. So appreciate everybody here at the Q and the medical staff, the way they handled it, and looks like she's going to be fine. So moving on from that, obviously, I thought we had a good game plan. I thought we played our hearts out in the first half, couldn't make some shots. You know, it was about a 5-point game at half, and had a good feeling about what they were doing, okay? And so come out in the third quarter, obviously, we scored a couple possessions there. I think it was 32-31, and then they went on a little bit of a run, and then Megan goes down. And I think, it's kind of hard to be focused on what's going on the court and the game plan as well as you have to against a phenomenal Buffalo team, and do that with tears in your eyes. So we're looking at some of the players. Are you going to be okay? Are you going to make it? And that type of thing. Right then, Buffalo just kind of ran away with it a little bit, and we couldn't kind of keep up with them. But, for this group, this past Saturday, we were kind of left for dead on the side of the road. We went down to Miami, probably had our worst game of the year, and didn't know whether this group mentally was kind of checked out and done. And then they came back and surprised me again. And I went to Toledo. We're 17-point game with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, and played some of the best basketball we played all season, fourth quarter and overtime to beat Toledo there and get here. So 3 road games and the travel that we've had over the last, I think it just caught up to us. We just ran out of steam. And so couldn't be more proud of these two that are sitting with me, the other 2 seniors. Phenomenal careers. When I got here a couple years ago, I just asked them to trust me. We're going to try and get things turned around. We're going to develop an expectation of winning here, and 32 wins later, we were able to do that. Last year we had a great run. For the rest of these players' lives, they're going to have a MAC East championship. That's something that they'll always have together. And this year we had some ups and downs. It's hard to recover from losing Larissa last year, but these two battled all season through a lot of injuries and a lot of things, but really proud of the way they played. A lot of credit goes to Buffalo. I mean, they're just better than we are. I mean, at the end of the day, they're just a better basketball team than we are. And I hope that this conference is able to get at least 2, if not 3, in the NCAA tournament, because we've got deserving teams. To be 7th in the RPI most of the season as a conference speaks to the level of talent and coaching in this league. Have the utmost respect for the coaches and players in this league, and what Buffalo's been able to do this year. So I hope they're able to, make a run in the tournament, show the country, what the MAC is all about in basketball. So once again, really proud of our players and what these seniors have been able to do in 2 years.
Questions for our student athletes?
What was going through your mind when you saw the injury in the third quarter? Both of you. Question for both of you.
I mean, of course, we're worried about our teammate. I think as leaders on the court, we have to try and keep the rest of the team focused and try and come out strong after whatever that was, a 5-minute break of worrying about our teammate. So just trying to gather everybody together and push through it without Megan, of course.
Yeah, definitely. We were really concerned for her, and it was hard losing her. She's helps our team a lot on both ends of the floor, so seeing her go down was really hard.
When you saw the stretcher, did you assume the worst?
I've been around a lot, so I've stretchers going off and stuff. A lot of times it is just precautionary. So Coach came over and said that she was moving her hands and legs, so we knew she was going to be okay.
For both Jordan and McKenna, just talk about in the first half what was working well for you guys offensively.
I think we were just being aggressive and we weren't being passive. And yeah, we were just being aggressive.
We just weren't playing scared, and we were just playing fast and aggressive just like they were, and we were scoring off of it, getting a couple offensive rebound putbacks.
For the both of you, the way that your kind of careers at Kent started, what does it mean to be able to get to Cleveland twice and have that experience as a team?
Definitely looking back, that's what we're going to remember is making it to Cleveland our last 2 years.
Nobody expected us to be here today, so at least we
All right.
made it.
Jordan and McKenna, we'll let you get back to the locker room, and we'll continue with Coach Starkey. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, Coach, could you just comment on Stephanie Reed and what she means to UB?
I whispered in her ear going through the hallway back out here. I said, "Golly, you're my favorite player in the league, other than my own kids." I mean, I just love the way she plays. I mean, she just commands the game, puts everybody in the right spot, makes the right plays. Just a phenomenal player and leader on the court. She's their emotional centerpiece. They've got great pieces around her, obviously, that play off of her, but she's the one that runs the show. And you know, every year as a coach, I don't know if other coaches this way. I become fans of certain players in the league. You know, you just see other players that exemplify some of the things that you really like in players, and Stephanie Reed's one of those players. I mean, she's just a phenomenal basketball player.
In the 4 minutes before Megan got hurt, it's afterwards or so, they really blitzed you, and I think for the game they had like 41 points off turnovers. That's just what Buffalo does. But talk about the third quarter before Megan got hurt and how you contradict a team that steals the ball that much.
Well, for us, I mean, obviously we've had some experience in going through that in the other two games, and there's certain teams that are just matchup nightmares for you. You know, and Buffalo certainly was that for us this year. You know, we played Central Michigan at their place to a 4-point game. You know, we were able to play with them and do some things. But the way Buffalo plays and really takes you out of your stuff based on our personnel makes it difficult. I thought, like I said, at the beginning of the third quarter, we came out. We scored the first two baskets. We cut it to one and had some momentum there. They came down and scored. We came down, had a couple turnovers there, and missed a shot. And right then, they're just defensively, they're like sharks on blood. You know, they kind of sense that they have you, you know, and then they just swarm you. You know, they're just very good. Their rotations, they really communicate well defensively. They're phenomenal at getting deflections to steals to points. I think they're probably the best team in the MAC at turning your mistakes into immediate points, as evidenced by that. So we played them closer than we did the first two games, but at the same time, they're just, like I said before, they're just a better basketball team than we are.
How about just kind of sum up where you're at now? I mean, you kind of overachieved last year, obviously, and then this year it's tough to kind of come back from a year like that. Just kind of talk about where you are right now as a program thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously if we had this season last year, everybody would have been like, wow, that's incredible. You've more than doubled your win total. And then we had last year's season this year, it would have been maybe the right progression. But at the same time, we have to look at, overall, I think we've built a really good foundation for what we want to do in the future. You know, Kent State's not, you know, the league walkover game anymore. I mean, you have to play against us. And I think the great thing about this group of seniors is when we got there, we asked them to change their mindset, to change to the expectation of winning rather than hoping to be in the game, you know, and they embrace that. Like I said, the run last year was just a magical experience. You just don't do that, go from last to first and get a bye to Cleveland and, you know, go through, have a ring ceremony, all that type of thing. It was just a phenomenal thing to be a part of. And I knew, Alan told you, Carl, I said, I think we're going to probably take a step backwards this year. You know, I just really saw that. I thought the league was going to continue to get better. And when you take some of the pieces out that we had last year, we just I just felt like we weren't going to be quite as good. And it was true. It kind of came true. For us, though, you know, next year is kind of the rebuild year. Okay, you coach what you have for the first 2 seasons. You try and change the culture and get the program where you want it to be, the mentality, and then you go find players that fit your mentality as a coach and work from there. So we've got some young. We're going to be really young. We're going to be really young next year, but I'm excited about that. I'm excited about growing with those players that are coming in and moving forward. And like I said, I'm really proud of being the head women's basketball coach at Kent State. This is a great situation for me. I'm proud to recruit student athletes to this university, and I think we have some really, really bright days ahead. But once again, it's a process. It's a process, and hopefully people will continue to be patient with that and see what we're really about.